What's up guys, how you doing? Well, I hope today's video is going to be a Q&A. I know it's not super original, but I thought it would be fun. Fun way to just like chit chat with you guys, keep you company. Hope you're keeping safe, hope you're keeping sane. It's rough out here, but we got this. So I put a little post on my Instagram and asked if you guys wanted to ask me anything. A bunch of you wanted to ask me different questions, hence a Q&A. Why I'm explaining this, let's jump right in. Have my phone here so that I can read the questions. The first question is, who made your mask? And I assume they asked this because the photo that I posted for the Q&A was me wearing a mask. It was from my friend Melissa Massey. She's a designer that you guys see me with a lot. She has a store here in LA. She was making masks to donate to different organizations and people around town. She knew that I didn't have one, so she very kindly mailed me one. How are you dealing with being alone in this time? I'm not doing well with it. It's hard, you guys. It's hard. I'm not gonna pretend that it isn't. I think that what I've been doing to keep myself from feeling like overly lonely, FaceTiming a ton. So if you have the opportunity to FaceTime or WhatsApp different friends and family members, I suggest doing it. Keeping yourself busy, setting up a routine, it helps your like mental health. So if it's just a matter of like waking up, taking a shower, making your breakfast, making your coffee, giving yourself little projects around the house, whether you have to get some work done, whether you want to just be creative, whether you want to organize, you know, those sort of like mundane, like repetitive tasks, they're sort of good in a time like this. So I definitely encourage you to keep in touch with your people, check in with your friends, check in with your fam. And I've also just been like watching a lot of YouTube videos. I mean, it's weird, but you guys, you understand because you watch me. Like, I like seeing a person, even more than TV shows right now, just like sort of a bird's eye into someone's life. So I've been watching a lot of vlogs and that's it. But it is difficult, and I'm with you, sis. Hey, I wanted to know if you'd be willing to share how you got started in brand consulting. I'm gonna do a full video on this. I keep saying it and I am. But the short story is I used to work in events, and then I worked as a publicist. And when I left my agency, I was a VP at that agency, started doing some consulting for clients that I had, ended up getting new clients and sort of consulted that way. And then when I started doing influencer work myself, brands, you know, knew a little bit of my history just because I worked with many of them, and I was able to just sort of get projects consulting on, especially like plus size fashion, what women want, what, you know, the best ways to work with influencers, fun ideas, that sort of thing. Okay, have you went on any dates since moving to LA, and how did they go? I specifically do not talk about my dating life. I just don't. I think that it's just something that I want to keep really private. I've done like a public relationship, and I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again. But I will tell you that I have gone on a date since being in LA, and it was outrageous. It's story time worthy. I've done a story time one other time about dating just because it was a blind date and it was so bad that I had to share. This takes the cake. This is worse than that. And I think I should probably tell you the full story. So if you want a story time on my worst date ever, let me know. What is the first thing you want to do once we can see folks and go places? I want my family to visit. I'm desperate for Carla to come back. I wanted to bring my dad. I want my two cousins to come as well. I think my aunt wants to visit me. So I want company. I want to have a housewarming. I live in a place that I finally feel like I can like entertain and have people over. Not that I couldn't before, but for some reason I just didn't. And I'm just like full of regrets. You know how it's like, all those times I said I wouldn't go out with my friends, now I'm like, please take me. So the opposite, all the times where I didn't feel like entertaining, desperate to, cannot wait. Is your current place your dream place? If not, what is? I think it's like my current dream place. It's like my attainable dream place. So I think the house is perfect for me. The location is perfect for me. It's very much kind of what was in my mind when I decided to move to California. My ultimate dream place is probably even more remote. I know I'm a city girl, but y'all, there's like a farmer in my soul. I want like chickens and like raising my own food and like the whole thing, like gardens, a lot of space, like some probably I don't know, mid-century palace in the middle of the desert, not gonna lie. Have you dealt with uncertainty about your career goals? Fellow Philly girl here. What up, Philly? Of course, I think we've all had challenging moments in our careers where we're like, okay, what's next? Or I don't like this. Do I need to pivot? And I would say, like, just depending on what you believe, I'm a God girl. Like, you know, I feel like my life is very much in order with my purpose, and it's because I listen and I pray. But I think that the times that I have been uncertain, I definitely asked for direction, and I felt like when I heard direction, like not letting fear keep you still is the most important thing. So if it's time to move, you need to move. If it's time to be still, you need to be still. And there's a level of like patience in that. And even though I'm a wildly impatient person, for some reason when it comes to those things, I do pretty well. Thank you. So I think we've all faced uncertainty, and if it's a matter of not knowing what's next, I think just listening to your gut, you know, consulting your higher power and figuring out what you want to do. I hope that made any sense. Ooh, okay, tacos or burritos, you guys. Fat kid here, so let's get passionate about this. I love tacos, especially living here in Cali. In New York, I would have said burritos just because there are more burritos, I feel like, around. Burritos are so hearty and like there's so much of it and it's so fun and great. But the right taco will beat a burrito any day in my book. But I will take a burrito over a so-so taco any day. Is that both? I don't know. What books do you read? Currently, highly illiterate. I feel like I haven't read a book in months. I just did a survey on my Instagram asking for book suggestions, so because I wanted to order some. And I actually saw my friend Brooke. She works at Instagram. Amazing Black Girl Magic, Brooke. She was talking about one of the writers that I love, David Sedaris, and he wrote Me Talk Pretty One Day, Holidays on Ice. He's super, super, super funny and like right up my alley, like easy to read, funny. And he has like, she was talking about his latest book and how hilarious it was. And I can't remember the name of it. I think Concrete something. I don't remember. I'll link it below, but I just ordered it. So that is my next read. Ooh, okay. How do you deal with grief from a parent dying? My dad died last July and I'm so lost. And I'm sorry if this is, I didn't have a trigger warning. I'm sorry. So if this is going to upset you, just fast forward about a minute or so. So I don't know if you guys, especially that are new, know, but my mom passed away 4 years ago and it's gut-wrenching. There's no pretty way. The only thing that I can say about grief, especially when it comes to your parent, it's like losing a limb. It is natural to feel all the feelings, but the number one thing I will say is that you have to feel your feelings, and that's with anything in life. You have to feel your feelings, because with grief, the only way out is in. The only way out is through. You have to acknowledge it. You need to cry when you need to cry. You need to be able to reference him, you know, all the funny things he said, or, you know, all of your fond memories. I talk about my mom all the time, and I can tell sometimes people sort of get jarred by that, or like they're a little shook, like they don't know what to say. But she was iconic and hilarious and important. And she shaped me. So, you know, she's always front of mind in the best possible way. But I've had some years to let that, you know, sort of settle in your spirit. It never ever goes away, but it does get easier, if that makes any sense. It gets less brutal. So I'm praying for you. Was your income affected? Yes. So, I feel like a lot of people don't understand like how influencers get paid, how we work, that we're not all like independently wealthy, generationally wealthy. We are not all like rich. So the way that I get paid are several different streams. I have merch, which you know, it's cute. So if you want to, I do a lot of sponsored content with different brands on especially Instagram, sometimes on YouTube, and then uploading to YouTube. And then I have a blog, and, you know, we use affiliate links and things like that. So there's multiple like ways. I have been affected. Like, I had signed 2 really like good campaigns right before everything happened, so basically a month ago, and they've both been postponed. I like had 3 jobs recently, like in the last couple of weeks, where like they came up and then they went away, and it's like, ugh. So yeah, it's affected, everyone's affected, but honestly I'm blessed, and I'm not in distress, but I'm concerned, and I think most of us are. And I think yeah, now I'm rambling, so yeah, the answer is yes. What is one item that you would love to get for your new mid-century casa? Oh my gosh. Right now, I mean, I'm looking for really specific things. I'm doing my office / filming room and my guest room. So things I need are like a bed, I need a desk, which I've been searching for, and just some really cool like accessories. I need a rug, I need a bunch of things. So I guess the biggest thing though is always like the sofa. I found my sofa, I really love it. Is it my forever, ever, ever sofa? Are they ever? You know, I switch things up. P.S. by the way, if you haven't seen it, my old apartment is on apartment therapy today, and it's on their YouTube, it's on their Instagram. It's such a beautiful way to say goodbye to that space and that stuff, because you know your girl like sells everything and flips it and redecorates. So yeah, excited. I want cool, unique furniture, but I just don't have the energy to hunt it down. Any easy tips? Anything worth having requires work. The end. People want fast solutions for everything. There's no easy way. I spend an enormous amount of time hunting, an enormous amount of time searching, an enormous amount of time going to thrift shops and vintage stores when I'm allowed outside, looking online. Sourcing takes work. And if you don't want to do the work, vintage will just never work out, because otherwise, I feel like if you just want to go to like mass market stores, it's so expensive. I would never be able to afford to redecorate if everything was from like CB2. It's also mass produced, and I don't want that, and the carbon footprint and just everything. I prefer things like, if my dresser came from, you know, 1980 and it's been in a couple of homes in a couple of places living its best life, I love having that here, you know? So did you like the MegaV products? So I tried the charcoal mask for your armpits. I only did it once, so I need to actually use it a bit more before I formulate a full opinion, but I've heard mostly good things, so I think people really do like it. What made you move? Maybe I missed it. I did explain that when I first moved from New York to LA, I wanted to make a small commitment, you know, like, so I got a small apartment just to make sure that I liked it here. I didn't want to like go find a house and decorate and do all this stuff. And then I'm like, just kidding, I don't like it here, I want to go home. So I just got an apartment that I thought was great, like a little starter place, but I knew that I needed more space because I had a 2-bedroom in New York. And so downsizing space when you work at home, it was a little difficult. So that's why. Hey love, how and what inspired you to create your YouTube account? I think I really, at that, like, I guess it was 2 years ago, 2.5. I just got a little bit bored of blogging only, you know, just got a little bit bored of photo content, and YouTube is like a new animal. It requires so much more work. Like, photos, it's not that taking photos is easy. You know, there's art direction and styling and, you know, location scouting and taking the pictures and all that. But YouTube's harder because, you know, film is just harder than photos, and the editing, you know, I do all of my own work. I don't have like a team. I mean, I have Jules and I have my assistant Nicole, but I don't have like someone editing for me. I don't have that kind of a team. So it was just fun to like flex a different muscle and be creative in a different way and just expand my audience, really. What advice, oh, this is the same person. What advice can you share to people who desire to start a channel? Start a channel. Go to youtube.com and say sign in and start. Just, you have to start. That's the thing. What was your start in the fashion world? We'll get into all of that when I talk about my career, but my start was with doing an event. I think I was 20 or 19, and of course I lied and said I was older, and these people hired me to do this gargantuan event freelance, and I pulled it off. It was a lot. Do you accept clothing from unknown designers, sewers? Sort of. if someone reaches out and they're like, hey, I made this thing, I really want to give it to you, or when brands reach out and they say, hey, you know, we have a new collection, or do you want to pick some stuff? I generally really dislike wasting clothing. So if I know that I don't want it, I'm not going to wear it, then I will just politely decline. If it's something that I think would be good for the channel, maybe it's something I just think would be good to show you guys, or that I really want to wear it in my life, then I will accept it. Yeah. Tips to dress for less. So dressing for less, I think what I like to do, and I'll just speak for myself, what I would rather do is I would rather go vintage shopping and thrifting than necessarily fill my closet with Forever 21. So there's a lot of places, like there's Plus Bus, and there's like some place in Brooklyn, and a lot of them do like online sales. There's ThredUp, there's just a bunch of like places where you can get gently used garments. So I would rather, if I'm on a budget, I would rather get a quality item that was owned before and pay the less money than getting like a brand new chintzy sort of like, you know it's gonna fall apart in the wash, it's gonna last one season, sort of thing. So that would be my approach. And then also, like, certain things just don't need to cost a lot of money. It just depends on like what the material is and where it's made. It's really hard to do like anything sort of eco-friendly or ethical when you're budget shopping at the mass stores. So, but you know, when it comes to being plus size, we don't have a ton of options. Like, I would love for everything to be sustainable, but it's just, there's only one, like there's almost no brands, especially in my size. So it's like they may have something that goes to like an XL, but like that doesn't help me. So I hope that answers your question. Sorry, I'm getting rambly, but I like talking to you guys. Do you like talking to me? I hope so. Let's see. What are your favorite natural hair products? Drugstore version is definitely Shea Moisture. Like, they never let me down. The products work really well. The ingredients are clean. Yeah, I think Shea Moisture for the drugstore. For the luxury side, for Bay, they have this green line. It's like all the bottles are green, and it's for natural hair. They killed it. They invited me to an event, I think when I first moved here, and gave me a few of the items, and I repurchased many of them because they are really freaking bomb. So I think Shea Moisture for drugstore, and if you want more like of a designery, I don't even know what you call it for hair, like more expensive, fancier, Bay. Who or what inspires your style? I take style inspiration literally from everywhere. I love street style. I love to see what people around the world are wearing. I especially love, like, you know, magazine editorials. I love to see trends and how people are, relating them into their own wardrobes. Last question, do you have any recs for good office chairs or seats, cushions for big girls? My booty hurts. Sorry, girl, that sucks. I think when it comes to like seating, comfort does matter. I'm guilty of just being like form over comfort. I'm like, this looks amazing. I don't care if it's a comfortable chair to sit in. And then I just like hate sitting there. So I think looking for something like one, when you read the descriptions of a chair, read the width and read the seat height. So if the chair is too low, it might be hard for you to get up off of, especially if you have long legs like me. If the seat width is not wide enough, then maybe if they're arms, it might be digging into your hips or something like that. I would just read the dimensions. And then also if you are, I don't know if it's your desk chair, I'm not really sure what kind of chair this is, but if it's like your desk chair or something like that, maybe look on Amazon and find like one of those like seat cushions, or maybe one of those pillows that you stick between your back and the back of the chair for lumbar support. That's my best guess. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. It was fun hanging out with you. It was fun answering your questions. I hope you enjoyed the video. That is it for me. Love you, mean it. Bye.